I made a mistake. They're not closed for lunch. Today's Sunday. I've lost all track of which day of the week it is. So yeah, Sunday, closed on Sundays. We're going to try and push on to Rabbit Flat, which is an abandoned roadhouse. We were there last year just for a visit. But yeah, that's 300 k's, so that's a big ask. We do have another 150 kilometres of newly sealed road, so we'll see how we go. But I've said let's not make it our focus, because then you make mistakes, take chances. So yeah, we'll get underway in a few minutes. The next thing of note will be the Granite's gold mine. Just like that, you run out of blacktop. We've made very, very good time, of course, but that's all about to stop. I'm not quite sure what the condition of the road is going to be. Yeah, that was pretty quick, very fast. The truckies must love it. What probably took them a 3 or 4 day turnaround, they could probably do in about a day and a half now. Maybe 2. Well, just doing the sums. Rabbit Flat, I think, is unachievable, depending on how good this road surface is. Yeah, it's a bit of an ask. It'd be nice, that way we can explore, you know, with what little daylight we've got left today or in the morning and have a late start. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I've asked Tom not to make it his sole focus, otherwise we'll end up taking risks. We'll see how we go. Between here and there is the Granite gold mine. Not that that is of any interest to us, because that's off limits. Yeah, it's pretty loose underfoot. Doing a bit of a sand dance. We need to be wired, because if we relax, it's all over Red Rover. Not ideal conditions. Well, we're approaching the Granite's gold mine. I think it's operated by Newmont. I just saw a windsock on this side, because their aerodrome, their airfield is on the right hand side, the mine is on the left. We've been able to maintain a fairly steady pace, so we may be able to arrive at Rabbit Flat with sufficient light to set up camp and gather some firewood. Yeah, I can see the light towers of the airfield there. Tanami, and there's their main entrance. Welcome to Tanami. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how far we've got to go now, 50 kilometres perhaps, to reach the abandoned roadhouse. I think I just saw Tom spear off looking for a campsite. We're pretty much opposite the mine entrance at the moment. Just pulled over to have a break and a nav check. We got about less than an hour and a half until sunset. So we're not going to push on to Rabbit Flat. We'll just get a few kilometres away from the mine, because mines can be noisy places after dark. When it's quiet, the sound travels some distance. So we'll just get back on the main road, find a suitable spot and park up. Oh shit, we are close. This might have some potential, but it looks like there's been vehicles going in and out on a regular basis. Not quite sure whether it's a creek line or what. It's marked with some surveyor's tape there. What's he thinking? He's thinking nut. No, too soft. Too soft. I think the old alignment is to our right, we're paralleling it. I just saw some vehicle movement, so yeah, we might have to just cop it on the chin. I think that could be the old alignment or something, yeah?
Well, we're going to have neighbours.
Yeah, too bad. It'll have to do, Tom, yeah?
You go last.
Must be a bit snotty if Tom has asked me to go last, just to help stand up bikes, perhaps, if it's needed. There's an old well there. Maybe that's where we're headed. Could be a flat area. Don't think we're going to have much of a fire tonight. Oh yeah, there's a flat area there. Well done, Tom. Yeah, this is good. Oh, it's not great, but it's good. It'll do. It'll do. Nice. Right, morning of day 13, I think, in 25 words or less. From here we're going to go down the road a bit and go to Rabbit Flat Roadhouse. It's abandoned, has been for some years. We'll stop there for an hour or so these guys can have a crawl around. I was there last year, but I might get some aerial footage of the roadhouse and the surroundings. After that we continue down the Tanami track for, I don't know, 40 kilometres or so, and then turn right and head towards an Aboriginal community called Lajamanu, I don't know. It's one of the more remote Aboriginal communities. We'll call in there for fuel. And after that, continue heading north until we reach, I don't know, it's the Duncan or the Bunteen Highway, although they're not highways, just outback unsealed gravel roads. And that could be the end of the day by the time we get to the Bunteen or the Duncan or whatever it is. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, first port of call is get back on the Tanami track and then continue heading northwest for a little while. Here's the turn off to Rabbit Flat. The Tanami continues around the bend here. I mean, they're trying to, I don't know, not prevent people, but discourage people from going in. I'm not quite sure why that is. Jesus. Well, Tom's caught up in some serious wire. Anyway. A little bit about Rabbit Flat. When it was operating, it was reported to be the most isolated roadhouse in Australia. Yeah, but old mate married a French national, brought her out here to the outback. They had two boys, twin sons, who later both joined the army, and towards the end it was operating on reduced hours, sort of every second day, and sometimes when it suited him. Lots of colourful stories about Rabbit Flat while it was operating, but in the end I believe he got too crook to continue and ended up retiring to Alice Springs. Yeah, colourful history. All the buildings, well, most of the buildings are still intact. In fact, I remember last year seeing a weather station which looked quite new. But anyway, we'll let the boys crawl around and have a look. Right, now that that's done, we'll make our way towards the turn up towards Lara, whatever it is, and change direction, start heading north. Whether I'm going to have enough fuel. Lajamanu 229. Just hang on. Alright, I feel a bit better now. Tom has got a rough fuel gauge on his tank, and and he's got 20 litres in his tank according to that. Unsealed section. So he reckons 20 litres, which should be a range of about 350. And Dave said on his BMW that he's got 360 or so. So yeah, maybe I'm overly panicking. Well, somebody's looking out for us because there are warning signs at snotty bits. Sign to reduce speed. Could be doing a bit of a sand dance, I think. Looks like we're pulling over from. Oh, there comes the car. Haven't seen too much traffic on this road. There's one that never made it. See? Oh, Dave's down. There was a sign warning of bull dust. He's not moving either. Oh, yes, he is. That's a creek line, creek crossing. Shit. You're conscious. How fast did you hit, mate?
I hit my head and my leg here somewhere on my bar.
Alright. Just hang on a minute. Because I don't want him to. Sure.
One, two, three. Fucking hell, mate. So when you got this far?
Yeah, Dave sort of knocked his head. He's okay, he's conscious. He was never unconscious at any stage. It's not so much bull dust, it's just creek crossing, soft sand. Well, that's going to rattle him. And talking to Tom, I asked Tom to do a map recon, see what was ahead. And there are another couple of creek lines. Don't know how bad. I mean, the sign said bull dust. Now, bull dust is one thing, but deep river sand, that's something else. I thought it might have been just a couple of bull dust holes, which is okay, if you know about them. But to have 100 metres of deep river sand, that's another story. Anyway, we'll see how we go. Just past a reduced speed sign. Tom's pulled over, not quite sure what's going on. Might just be a welfare check. Right, we've got 86 kilometres to go. It's 2 p.m. Sunset isn't until about 6:30, but could take us an hour and a half to get to this community. We got some admin to do. We've got to make a couple of phone calls to Kununurra, the bike shop there, about tyres and the like, and some other admin, so we might lose an hour at the community, and that's okay. We've got to refuel, of course. The suggestion has been made that maybe after we've done all that, we just get 10 kilometres out of town and pull up for the night. Have an early one maybe. We'll see. We'll know more in an hour and a half. Going through some rolling hill country. Very nice. And as I said a little while ago, these communities, they always seem to be nestled in amongst spectacular landscapes. I'm sure this one is no different. Everything's nice and green. They must have had some rainfall. Said don't drink and drive, but I thought all these communities were dry communities. Alcohol was banned. Maybe this is one of the few that is not a dry community. There's some fires burning, one in front of us and one behind us now. I'm not sure if they're controlled burns, keeping the vegetation in check, or if they're wildfires. We better be mindful of that when we choose a campsite. Check the direction of the wind, a couple of other things. Alright, this is Lajamanu. I'm sure it won't be difficult to find the general store and the fuel point. It's taken us 600 kilometres to get here from the last fuel point, and I was concerned about running low or running out of fuel, but I mean, we did fill up at Yuendumu and we did all have at least 5 litres in bladders, but yesterday, because of those highway conditions, you know, we're sitting on 110 and they used a bit more fuel than I was expecting. But anyway, we got here safely. Central Desert Regional Council Office, airstrip. General store. Self-serve 24/7. This place is the Wild West. I thought there was a cop shop in town, but I guess they can only control them up to a point. We're just going to head out of town for a couple of kilometres and pull up. We just got to get some water. Before we do that, one of my water bottles burst. A lot of these places out in the country, in these communities, they've got the handles removed so kids don't come along and just waste the water. But I've got a special little $11 tool that allows me access. Oopsie, thank you. You can never have too much water out here. Alright, yeah, you can probably see that smoke in front now. That's one hell of a fire. How are you? shortage of wood. Trouble is it's all grass. We need an area clear enough for the tents. Some brumbies through there. You might be able to make them out. I'm sure you can, seeing there's movement. We're about 1 kilometre from the road. We came in quite deep, only to avoid contact with the locals because we're quite close to town. Tom's got some concerns about his tyre wear. We expected to get 8,000 kilometres out of these tyres. We're about 4,500 kilometres in. I'm not overly concerned yet. We're all running the same rear tyre on the DRs. Dave has opted for a different Motos tyre, one that is a little bit longer wearing. But yeah, I expected to get 8,000 out of this tyre, and I'm sure I'll get that. But yeah, Tom's a bit bigger, bit heavier set than Cots and I, and he's got some concerns. When we get to the next town, which is 100 kilometres away, we'll make a call to the bike shop in Kununurra and see what sort of tyre selection they've got. That burn yesterday, that burn off, I think they're prescribed burns. I'm not sure, can't say for sure, but you know, it was raging there at one stage and then it was extinguished later in the day, so I think they're probably prescribed burns. It's all about vegetation control near these communities. Last thing you need is a wildfire out here. Anyway, we'll make our way back to the main road, then start heading north to that other community, which is on the Bunteen Highway. And when I say highway, I use that term loosely. This would be a cattle path. This strange how they constantly use the same path every day. Probably going to water. There's some more brumbies through there. Being free, yeah, they just run wild. Cots has just gone on ahead to get some water. He was dehydrated yesterday evening, so consumed a couple of litres of water, which is a good idea when you know you've got a ready supply of water the next morning. So we just stuck into town and yeah, a little bit of a resup with water. You don't see that every day while we're waiting. Some local dog walked past with a joey in its mouth, dead. I don't know the circumstances surrounding that. I don't know where the mother is. Could have been hit by a car or something, I don't know. But yeah, a bit unusual to see that sort of thing. Dog eat dog. Well, dog eat joey. Alright, the band's back together. The locals yesterday said, oh yeah, it's an hour down the road, but I'm not so sure. The condition of this road is supposed to be worse than the one we did yesterday, only because this is the main road in and out of the community, and it might be chopped up a bit, corrugated. We'll know more soon enough. Grab your gear. Let's go.